but it's a good starting point. And I personally don't think 3 years is too long in this case.
What's up, guys? Deep chucking value coming at you, bringing a conclusion to the emoji timeline 10. Now, we're going to talk about Ryan, Keith, Kelly, and Bill. Who they are isn't really important here. We're going to be looking at some of their tweets over the past few years and lining them up with where I think the timeline is. Ryan, we know him. He's the CEO of GameStop. They just gave us surprise earnings today and kind of feels like the perfect piece. Keith, Roaring Kitty, he gave us the timeline. He's a legend. Kelly, she was the VP of customer service at Chewy over here. And then she became the VP of customer service at GameStop. And she has a dog named Bruno. Polt, I'm not going to go in depth into who he is. I mean, he's been the director or the chairman of so many different things. He's launched foundations, and he just was appointed to the director of national intelligence. And he's a fan of GameStop, so big stuff. We're going to be seeing how all of their tweets fall into this timeline right here, specifically on the monthly chart, and we're gonna explore that theory. But before we do that, we're gonna look at a couple clips. All right, so the first one is going to be the first 3-year mention and the timeline itself. The audio is down for copyright. Yeah, and we all know this part. So that is the timeline and the 3-year reference. The next one is going to be from his stream.
But it's a good starting point. And I personally don't think 3 years is too long in this case. But it's a good starting point. And I personally don't think 3 years is too long in this case.
So a couple references to 3 years, right? What does that mean? I think this timeline is a combination of tweet anniversaries from 3 years in the past. Starts on Ryan's induction as CEO in 2023 in September, and it concludes, well, right before the 3-year anniversary. 36 emojis, 36 months. Now, I know that doesn't mean much on the surface, so we're going to explore what that actually means, like through the lens of the history. So they're not all 3 years. Ryan's typically are. The others are 4 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 1 year, but they all fall on those anniversaries of the month they were made. So this is when all the emojis come. Let's look at the tweets that accompany them. All right, so now we're back at the beginning, right? We're just gonna run through these. So see, this is when this is posted, 11/20. Cat emoji. So we're gonna put a cat emoji on 11/20/2020. We've got the string of emojis, January 2021. We've got the frog ice cream posted on February 2021. Frog ice cream, February 2021. The sick emoji, 3/21. The fist, April 21. Kelly's eyes, May 21. The Sears logo and the skull emoji, June 21. We've got this Kelly picture, eyes, starry face, and I think this is the disguise. So we put all three right there in July 2021. And we also get one right there. Another starry face. GameStop 2021. 8/21. We get these two both in February. We get the crooked eye emoji. And more eyes, and so on. We get this string in February of 22, as well as the apple. We get Ryan's Purple Heart in June of 2022. Left 4 Dead, shocked expression in 7/22. This is nothing, actually, maybe. The Tent, October 22. April 23, Ryan tweeting a rampage about America. Well, about corporate greed, but I put that as the microphone and the US flag. The Thumb War, 6/23. Nothing more foolish than cat litter video games. Cheers. Tylee passing away. I think that's the hug. So July 23. And now here are the ones that come after the timeline is posted in May 2024. So the only month Ryan doesn't tweet in 2025. I think that's this guy. We have a string of Pult tweets, and this is going to be all of his involvement. Oh, looky here. Eyes, flame, explosion, cheers. And those are all going to be for 7/25. Well, we'll do 5 through 7. We'll do 5, 7. This one we're going to come back to. Ryan Cohen tweeting the target in May of 2026. May 2026. But he's referencing eBay. And I think this is a reference to when they did the eBay model, the Trade Anything Day in December. And then, of course, when Barking Puppy's account was created, the dog emoji, February 26th. All right, so those are where everything comes from. Now let's see how it lines up with the actual current timeline. First tweet, January 21. So 3 years later, we're going to look at January 24. It's none of those, but let's look at the 4 prior. Nut, cat, shit, shot. Nut, cat, nope, shit, shot. 4 of those 6 right there. My thinking is that maybe these 2 are Ryan and Kelly. This is Pulte, and their stuff comes later. I don't know. I don't know why these were discluded. But 1/24, right here, January. 4 prior lines up with those. The frog ice cream, February 21. So we're looking at February 24. And that is where we get it. And it kind of overlaps with that January. Covers this. The sick emoji. Where are we? March 2024? March 2021. So 3 years later. These 2 are a little bit off, but he just flipped them. So April 21. We're getting this. May 24, so a month late, but still 3 years. The Thumb War, 6/23, June 2023. April 2024, so a year later, a couple months early, but right there. Skull emoji, 6/21. Skull emoji, 6/24. This 3 string, the disguise, the eyes, and the stars, 7/21, right here, and it starts the string. Next one is this. Again, we have the lightning bolt, the game, the rocket, the mushroom, the explosion. Boom, 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 boom. 3/22, so this would be 3/25, right there. And just like with the other string, it's the months that come before it. And then right there in March 25, we get, remember, this from March 22, so 3 years later. Next, Who will be the pinata for all this inflation? With that little expression. That is February 22, and this comes April 25. So, again, 2 months late, but 3 years later. Oh. As for this, again, this is the only month that he didn't tweet that year. I couldn't find anything better, but I think that's why it's a confused emoji. Because it's like, what's happening? Why isn't he saying anything? Ah, that's my thinking there. Purple heart, the hell with the left and the right. Yep, June 22. We see this June 25, 3 years later. Tylee, 7/23. 7/25. So 2 years later, but still the anniversary. So this, the handshake, I believe this is the warrant distribution. The fact that we had two equally sized candles immediately after makes it like buyers, sellers agreeing on the same exact range. Just like that's more of a theory than something I can back up, but that's my thinking on that, the handshake. After the warrants is the tent. I don't know why it's all the way up there. We've got 10/22, 10/25, 3 years later. The cat emoji, 11/20. So this one's 5 years later. He's talking about Burry. And guess who came back 5 years later? Burry. 11/25. I think that is the cat emoji. The target, I explained it earlier. This is when they demo the eBay model. They do the trade anything stuff. I think he's referencing that with the arrow, even though it comes later. It's kind of like a callback type shit, you know? That's my thinking there, is that this is meant to represent the Trade Anything Day month, where they demo the eBay model. The eyes, January 2026. We've got the eyes, 2/24, so a month and 4 years. This one might be bullshit, honestly. Might be a reach, but I think so my thinking with Kelly, right? She is a customer service specialist. She's customer support. I find that her tweets tend to come at the lows. You know what I mean? At support. So that's kind of the thinking there, is that it's a little bit of a force, but her tweets mark where support is. So got one right there, February 22. It's 4 years and a month off, but that's that. We've got the other one, May 21, and then May 26. So this one's spot on 5 years. Again, February 2026. This is when the Barky Puppies account is created. March and April of 2026. Remember, April of 2023 is when he was going nonstop about America. Like he was taking the microphone to speak his opinion about, corporations and leadership in America and how rotten they are. So I think that's what these are. 3/4, 2026. All of this is for 2023. Kelly eyes. And now let's look at these Pulte tweets. These don't align perfectly, and they're only a year off, but they were made in such a tight span. And, when you go through these Twitters, if you search these emojis, it's not like you're getting a long list of options to pick from. They all have like 1 or 2 tweets, usually just one, that will have the emoji. So that's why I'm kind of going with these and not just saying, oh, it's this one versus this one, because I think it needs to be. It's like, no, they only have one tweet with the emoji out of all 4 people. You know what I mean? And this is kind of where that really boils or comes in clearer. So he tweets the fire emoji, right? In May of last year, or in June of this year. It's only a 1-year difference, and it was right at the end of the month. Actually, 5 days before his birthday. So 1 year, 1 month, but it's really 1 year and a week, right? Next. 7/25, July 2025, July 2026. And then just like that last one, he made the tweet at the end of the month, in July. He's talking about a rule change, but the group cheers it. The credit union group cheers the rule change on credit scores. Now this one might be a reach, but it's the closest thing I can find to a cheers emoji out of any of their 4 Twitters. And the fact that he made it in such a tight span of time with these makes me think it's a reference to these. You know what I mean? Fire, explosion, cheers. And then to close it off, I mean, there's nothing more foolish than cat litter in video games. August 2023. August 2026. This came the month before he became CEO. This comes the month before his 3-year anniversary as CEO. I don't know exactly what this means. There's a lot of different ways to interpret it. We're just going to leave it at the tweet. And so there you have it, guys. This is how it all lines up. We get the string, we get the couplet, we get the 1, we get the 2/5, the skull, Kelly's supportive call out, this string, Apple, you know, boom. The tent, the warrants, Burry's return, Barking Puppy's return, or creation, a couple more supportive callouts, the Target, the eBay stuff, and then Pult's return at the end. Ryan's thoughts on corporate America. Now, what is this all leading to? I have a couple theories, right? I mean, the main one being, it's when GameStop transforms. You know, it's very simple. They become a holding company, or, you know, they're done making money off of trade-ins, done making money off of all that shit. They're still going to. It's just not going to be the main source. Their main source of income is going to come from flipping businesses and optimizing companies and creating an umbrella holding style type company. At least that's my thinking. I mean, GameStop may not exist in a year. It may get absorbed by something larger. Who knows? What does this lead to, though? So, we just got the surprise earnings report tonight. It's the best Q1 we've apparently ever recorded, or one of them. It's the perfect piece. Or I guess this is the feeling right before landing the perfect piece. Ryan's 10th earnings report as CEO. That's what we just got tonight. We're getting to the completion of the timeline, right? Ryan's 3-year. But why is Ryan's 3-year important? Let's figure out why. We're going back to the squeeze. We're going from the high to the support. Boom, boom. We've got patterns within this. You see, once it crosses this 5, it really changes. Starts to flatten out, across the 13 double tops, down. Across the 21, kind of keeps going with the same thing. Once it crosses that 34, it really dips. I mean, it creates another one of those giant double top distributions. And then here we are, right? So Ryan became CEO, I believe it was 2 days from the exact midpoint of this. Let's so this time zone, 630 bars, 460 days. Look at how close September 28th is to that midpoint. It is 2 days over the halfway point. That is crazy close. Seems a bit too close for coincidence, in my opinion. But once it goes through that time zone, right, the thing just fucking lifts off. The actual candle is gross. Look at that thing. But so Ryan becomes CEO right in the middle of it, right? Like dead smack in the middle of it. Almost to the point where it seems a little pre-planned, in my opinion. But right here on the poop emoji. Now the fire emoji comes right as we cross that next one, the 89. And I'm not going to. I mean, sure, I'll do it. I'm gonna have to turn it off though. But, so if we go to extended hours, this is what we're looking at right now. I mean, it already ripped up like almost 8%. So I think that's the start of the fire emoji. And if you watched my last video, you'll know it's the start of a few other things as well. But that's on the 4-hour. We crossed that time zone. I mean, we crossed it yesterday. But now if we take this same time zone to the 2-day, again, because the bars are changing size now, we're on the 2-day instead of 4-hour, it's going to change the measurements a bit. See, it still got crazy and then started stabilizing right after going through it here. On the 4-hour, it squoze. On the 2-day, it stabilized. On the 4-hour again, it didn't squeeze today, but it did rip after hours. And now where's this last one align? This 89. Right there on Ryan's 3-year anniversary as CEO. This is why I think it's a countdown to that last month, to September of this year. I think that's what it's all leading to. That's where the time zone, the emoji timeline, that's where they're both pointing to. So that's the theory. We've got them all explained. Well, all except for one. This is the only one I can't figure this out. All the other ones we got through, but this is the only one that remains. I kind of don't care right now. I just want to see what happens moving forward. Maybe I'll come back to this one in the future. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. I wanted to get it out sooner, but Holt was a missing piece, and this took weeks to put together mentally, and then on the chart. Doesn't matter. Who fucking cares? Let's see what happens, huh? We got, I think Jimmy's up like 6 or 7% right now. Hopefully this is a good month, guys. Deep Chuck, out.
You look at that. Oh, you see that one? You know what color that one is because you can't see it. Sorry, I'm jumping around here, but you know how my mind works. But was this one played today? Did someone play that and I didn't see it? It feels like someone might have played that, and I was like, oh, I missed that. I missed that. But there's always that. There's always that.